Hello everyone, my name is Amory Bodelson and I am your instructor for this online section of speech. This is a 12-week purely online class that runs from May 6th through July 26th. And I wanted to just introduce myself briefly and give you a little bit of an overview of what the course will be like. So as I said, my name is Amory. If it helps to remember, it rhymes with Camry. Last name is Bodelson. When you communicate with me, whether that's via email or on the phone, you can call me either Amory or Miss Bodelson, both work. I have been teaching full-time at Western for 10 years now, and I teach this course, speech, along with English composition and literature courses. And I've also taught some applied comm and work-related or job-related courses too. But speech, English, and lit are my primary courses that I teach. And I teach in all formats, including face-to-face, online, and blended formats. So I tell my students that speech is probably my favorite class to teach, even though I'm an English lit major, because speech is one of those courses where you get to see the most impact over a short period of time. And you get to see students improve in their confidence and their ability to speak and listen and to arrange their ideas through the spoken word. So I kind of make it my favorite usually, even though I do love teaching literature and writing. In this online speech class, you will have 4 primary speeches that you deliver, and you will use software through your online textbook, through Cengage MindTap, to record those speeches. And 2 of the speeches, the 2 in the middle, the informative and the persuasive, do need to be presented in front of at least 4 adults that you arrange. So you have to ask friends or family members or co-workers to sit and watch your speech. And so you will need to negotiate how you record that speech so that you can show your audience and show us yourself when you're speaking. First speech and last speech do not require an audience. And the first speech you deliver is an introductory speech about yourself, something that is of interest to you. The second speech is an informative demonstration speech, so you demonstrate how to do something or how a process works. The third speech is a persuasive speech, and the fourth speech is a tribute speech, where you pay tribute to someone who's been important in your life. So again, speeches 2 and 3, the informative and persuasive, must have an audience. If you cannot acquire an audience yourself, you are able to contact me and I'll work to get you on campus to present either to one of my face-to-face classes or to a group of people that I assemble, including possibly some of your other classmates in this class. So you do have some options if you're new to town or you don't know a lot of people, but I encourage you to be creative with who you acquire. A lot of students choose to do speech topics that might relate to their work or their program. So if you're a nursing student and you're currently working as a CNA, you might consider delivering your speech to your workplace in front of some coworkers during a break. Usually you're not going to be speaking for more than 15 minutes, and if you can do that and ask some people to help you, that's one way to tackle that requirement. So in addition to the speeches you deliver, each week you will have quizzes on the content that is in your textbook. So the chapters are all set up through MindTap, and you read the content, and then at the end of each quiz you have a usually 10-point quiz that you are able to take, or you're required to take, I should say. And those quizzes are 10 points each. And I believe the way I've set it up this time is that you have 3 chances to take each quiz. So if you don't like the score you get the first time, you can try to retake it and get a better score. So those are weekly. You usually have 2 quizzes per week. And then you will also have preparatory materials that you are required to do, which means that you submit brainstorming to me occasionally. You will submit a rough draft to me that I give you feedback on, and then you also submit a practice video that your peers give you feedback on. So in total, you will record at least 4 final versions of your speech and 4 practice versions of your speech. And for both practice and final speeches, you will give feedback to your peers through the MindTap software. So it's a lot of online work, and that also means that you should have access to a reliable and speedy internet connection. If you live out in a rural area, that can be problematic, so you might find yourself needing to go in town to the library or to campus even. So make sure that you do have good, steady, reliable access to an internet connection and a webcam of some sort, whether that's on your computer or on your phone. I do believe that it's harder to successfully complete this course with a phone only. I would advise that you have access to a laptop just because it can make your life a lot easier. Also note that sometimes depending on how big or how long your speech is, it can increase the load time, so that even though your deadlines are always at midnight on either Wednesday or Sunday, I would highly stress not to do it at 11:45 because it can take sometimes half an hour for your file to load if you're including PowerPoints or visual materials, or if it's a slightly longer speech. So keep those things in mind as you navigate through this online speech this summer. And a little bit about who I am, so you know where I'm coming from. As I said, I've taught at Western full-time for 10 years now. Prior to teaching at Western, I was a writer. I was a technical writer for a couple different software companies in both Fargo and Madison. And I was a grant writer for UWL in the School District of La Crosse. So writing is my primary background, but I've given quite a few professional presentations in my work career, including teaching every term and publicly speaking to my classes. So even though I'm not a speech major, I have actually really come to enjoy teaching speech and, as I said, watching students improve their skills as they go over the course of the term. I am married to my husband, whose name is Dan. We've been married almost 20 years, and we have 2 cats, and we live in La Crosse. We've lived in La Crosse since 2006, and in my spare time, I like to travel. We are planning a trip to Spain this fall for our 20-year anniversary to celebrate that, and so I try to get over to Europe or some more faraway destination every 2 years. That's what I save my money for. And I also like to read, and I like to hike and do yoga and plan dinner parties and try new restaurants. And I also enjoy watching my fair share of Netflix and Hulu, and I'm deep into the final season of Game of Thrones right now. And that's a little bit about me. So I am looking forward to meeting and learning more about each one of you, and I hope that if you have questions or concerns that you reach out to me. You can contact me at my email address, which will be on the contact section of Blackboard. I try to respond to emails promptly. On weekends and evenings it might not be as prompt, and I have illustrated some of those tidbits in the syllabus, so make sure you take a look at that too. I will look forward to learning more about each of you, and I look forward to the summer term with you. Have a great rest of your small break, and we'll talk soon.